Welcome, everybody. This is the Rotary E-Club of Silicon Valley, and every week we bring you the story of people who are improving the world around. That may be locally, it could be globally, it could be digitally. And what we think is that joy and meaning that comes from service above self, Rotary's motto, is something that everybody should tap into. That sense that by taking time to help out others, to improve your community, all of that is living a life well served. So we're part of Rotary International. That's 1.2 million people and 36,000 clubs around the world. And our specific club, the Rotary E-Club of Silicon Valley, is both online and asynchronous. So it's a highly flexible club for crazy busy people who nevertheless have a heart for service. If you're interested in that, just take a look at our website at rotary.cool. All right. With that, let me introduce our speaker. We have a local for you this week. Zack Curran is part of the San Jose Barracuda. The San Jose Barracuda is the American Hockey League franchise here in San Jose, and I think it's accurate to say it's a farm team for the Sharks. Is that a proper
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Good, good. Zack has been with the organization for 3 years. He has been an avid sports person all his life and developed an interest in possible professional pursuits with organizations as he was coming out of college. He'll give us the longer story there. If you want the full bio, or at least the full description of the program, then pause and take a look on the page where you find this video or this podcast. But with that, let me introduce our speaker, Zack. Welcome to the Rotary E Club of Silicon Valley. I hand the mic over to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much to everyone at the E-Club of Silicon Valley for your time. I am Zach. I'm with the San Jose Barracuda. We are the AHL affiliate of the San Jose Sharks. Whether it's minor league team, farm team, however you want to put it, we're the team right below the Sharks. And basically, all our players will end up going to the Sharks if they're good enough, of course. So a little background about me. I have a huge passion for sports, always did. Played a lot of them as a kid. The one sport that stuck though was basketball, primarily because I'm 6'6", so that usually helps. From that passion, I ended up going to Hudson University, D3 school, played basketball there. And as I graduated, I was trying to look into the workforce, try to find something in sports, but then COVID kind of happened. So decided to take a step back, go back to school for my master's program at Northeastern. And from there, I found a really awesome internship with the Boston Bruins. I was lucky to work with that amazing program for a year, got to see the ins and outs. I worked on the sales as well as the service side. So I got to see just kind of the different levels of how they interact with not only season ticket holders, but also their community and everything like that. So to go into the background a little bit of the Barracuda, we have hopped around a lot in our history, as most AHL teams do. Either they get bought out or they just move due to just arenas and things of that nature. We started in Kansas City as the Blades, did that for about 5 years. And from there, we moved to Kentucky, where we became Thoroughblades. That's my personal favorite logo. We actually did a throwback jersey a while back, and everybody loved it. And then from there, we went to Cleveland. So as you can see, it's just randomly jumping to different areas depending on need or again facilities, things of that nature. We ended up in Worcester, over in Massachusetts, near where I was staying, all the way up until 2015. And to put it in perspective, it's really tough for some players if they're at the Barracuda to fly from Worcester all the way to San Jose. It's a brutal trip. So we were actually one of the first teams to have our AHL team in the same city and actually right down the street from our big brother club. So other teams are starting to do it now because they're starting to see how easy it is. Because a lot of times the Sharks will call one of our guys and be like, "Hey, see you in 10 minutes," because they're right down the road. They were able to play that night, and it's also cost effective too because you don't have to buy all those flights and hotels, everything like that. Everybody lives here. So we ended up in San Jose in 2015, and we've been here for 10 years now. But as of 3 years ago, we actually just opened our brand new TechSU Arena. As you can see in that picture right there, it is a 4,200 seat arena, amazing facilities, state-of-the-art technology and sound. Really awesome space, perfect size, I think, for AHL program because some of those bigger arenas, it's tough to fill out and it looks kind of sad when it's a little empty. So, going on to more about the Barracuda and what we stand for. Obviously, as Rushton said, we're very community oriented. Our four pillars are family, community, inclusivity, and price. None of them are above the other. We feel like they're all pretty equal. I do have a soft spot for the community and inclusivity side, given my background. But so I'll go more into it here. The first one is family. Family is super, super important to us, especially with the younger demographic. We believe that, getting them into the arena at a young age and becoming a fan is great for us just because we can have lifelong fans that keep coming back and then they'll bring their kids and so on and so forth. One of the biggest things that we do for our families, especially the youth, is our Friends of Frenzy. It's actually a new kids club, if you will, for the program. It's an awesome opportunity for kids to, get their membership, and be able to visit Frenzy a few times at some social events. They get some free tickets to games, and they also get a cool ID badge. They get to have their name up on a wall. It's all really cool stuff for these kids to kind of engage. And I don't feel like there's a lot of programs out there that are quite doing what we're doing there. So that's why I'm really proud to, talk about that one. Another thing we do really fun for our families and especially the youth, again, is all our experiences as well as our performances. So we have opportunities for a lot of middle school and high schools to perform live at our games, whether it's the national anthem, the first intermission, performances on ice, as you can see that middle photo. It's just an opportunity to perform in front of a live audience because a lot of these kids, have a passion in performing. And so what's more of a amazing opportunity than to perform at a live sporting event? I mean, I think every singer or performer would love to sing the national anthem at a game. So other youth experiences are, our bench warmers as well as our Blue Line buddies. That's particularly for our youth programs. We have our Junior Sharks affiliates here as well as other youth programs that will come to games and they are able to stay on the blue line during the national anthem with the players and also get to do the bench warmers, which is exactly the way it sounds, sit on the bench during the warm-ups. So it's just a cool way for them to interact with the players, and just kind of get that experience that they can take with them for the rest of their lives. Getting more into the community aspect, as you can see, we have a new initiative we just started this past year called Beyond the Reef. It's a really amazing organization where we're working with countless different local groups. As you can see, some of these examples here. Some of the highlight ones is Convoy of Hope. I'm not sure if Russian or anybody else is familiar with this program, but it's where essentially we made over 1,500 of these like food bags that we were able to give out to families in need. Really awesome thing. We're definitely doing it again next year because it was a lot of fun. We did this like little conveyor belt line and we got to make a game out of it. It was a blast. But another big one is the cultivating literacy. That's where we made over 500 reading kits for people who struggle, mainly students in schools that are struggling with reading. It really helps them gain the confidence to be able to read at their appropriate level. And another big one was we helped with the Los Angeles wildfires. We actually had a few of our people go drive right down there and were able to help in many different ways. So another thing I like to mention is community not only extends to our nonprofit organizations, but I personally work in the business sector, like the B2B. I think that small businesses are very, very important to us just because, the affordability aspect that we have, we can really work with these businesses to create amazing opportunities, not only for their employees, but vendors, partners, things like that. So I think not only are we great with nonprofit groups, but we also can help small businesses grow and maintain their business and their relationships in unique ways. Um, and if you have questions about that, please ask away at the end here. I can help to dig in more of that. But we're big about the community, and that's why we have the Barracuda Beyond the Reef. Going into inclusivity, pretty self-explanatory there. We believe hockey is for everyone. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you played baseball. I mean, I play basketball, but I still love coming to the games and just watching sports. So that's something we had last year. We actually had one of our big theme nights was hockey is for everyone. That's an opportunity to again have every type of person, no matter what walk of life, affiliation. Everybody is welcome and accepted here. And we are actually going to split that up into other theme nights now. We're going to try to focus more on each individual group because we don't want to make it too broad to where we're not being as inclusive as we need to be. So we're actually going to have a sensory night as well as a pride night, and then we're even going to try to have maybe some other takeovers with other organizations such as Special Olympics. We have the Special Olympics in Northern California. I work with them personally. We're going to try to have a takeover with them during like an Olympic night or something like that. So just a lot of different opportunities to include a multitude of people. Heritage Nights is big for us too. One of our biggest ones is the Tigres Del Mar, as you can see in the middle there. We practically rebrand our entire team. For that night, we're not the San Jose Barracuda. We're Tigres Del Mar, which is, the Tigers of the Sea. That's what the Barracuda are kind of known as, is the Tigers of the Sea. So we kind of went with that, had an amazing logo made, as you can see with the jerseys. And it was a really, really awesome cultural night. And we're going to include plenty of other different culture nights because San Jose especially is just a melting pot of so many different people. And I think that we need to just, demonstrate that more throughout our season. And then some of the other stuff too, as you can see towards the right, I mentioned the Special Olympics Northern California. They had a takeover night, as you see in the top picture, top right picture. And we also had plenty of other schools come and perform too. Going into the final pillar here is price. You would not believe how affordable we really are for a professional team. Basically, if you worked with me at a group rate, they start at $18 a ticket, which is unheard of for a professional sports game. And then you even look at some of our hospitality spaces. They are incredibly affordable, especially for different groups, businesses, things of that nature. Our 16-person suites, you would think they would be like $9,000, like at the Sharks or other arenas, but only $1,500. As well as some of our other hospitality spaces like Fireball Cove, Sandbar, and the like. So I think, for families especially, whenever you go out, like say, it's a family of four, they're spending minimum $300 a night, just going out, whether it's dinner, movies, whatever. I'm sure most of you have families, you understand. Whereas here you can, take them out, 4 tickets, drinks, food, and everything for less than $100. I mean, really can't beat that. A lot of things we like to do is include fan experiences for free. It usually only requires a certain amount of tickets purchased, again, at a discounted rate. So not only are you getting a very affordable ticket price, but then we can include a bunch of fan experiences on top of that. Like birthday parties will have, a Zamboni ride for the birthday boy or girl. I know I worked with Niles Rotary Club of Fremont last year. We had a group photo on the ice afterwards, which was a really awesome experience for them. They got to touch the ice, that's not their photo on the top left there, but that's an example of a group photo on the ice that we can provide again for free. So that's just a really special thing that we do there. This next page is just a bunch of different photos of different things that we've done over the course of the last couple of years I've been here. We hosted the AHL All-Star Game last year. It was an incredible, incredible experience being able to see just all that being put together. We had like a fan fest during that weekend and everything. It was incredible. The picture in the middle is one of our players, Shadir Mughamadullin. He actually arrived late to the game that day because the flight got delayed because the weather was really bad. And when he arrived late, he came out and the whole crowd erupted because he was our hometown guy, and everybody just went crazy for him, and that was just a special moment. Some of those other theme nights, as you can see right there, is we do Pink in the Rink, a breast cancer awareness night. We do that every year. Really special. Last year, we actually had a bell ringing ceremony for survivors, so that was a really awesome thing to watch. We do military appreciation every year. You can see our military appreciation jerseys. As you can see, we do Pride as well. And we also work with just so many different groups in the area, again, with the community. I personally work with the San Jose Mustang Car Club. They come and do a car show every year with us. I have, just worked with so many different groups in different sectors of San Jose that I have a whole list. I can go down the line. One of my favorite theme nights is the picture in the middle, top middle, is our teddy bear toss. That's a really fun one just because it's an opportunity to come to the game with a bunch of stuffed animals in hand. When we score, the home team scores, everybody throws those teddy bears out onto the ice. So it's just incredible thing to see. And the beautiful part is those toys get donated to organizations. We work with Kaiser Permanente every year on that. So I think we had 4,500 toys donated last year. So it was more toys than people. So that was really fun to see. So yeah, as you can see, we just not only are we, we're obviously a professional team, but we want butts and seats. But I think the more important thing is the community aspect of it. I think having everybody come and just have a good time, be together in unison is something that I think all sports should go for. So kind of wrapping it up here, I know I threw a lot of stuff there. I was kind of maybe going a little fast, but one thing I like to mention here is that we are going to have a Rotary at the Reef night. Rushton and I have been working with Margot over at Fremont, and we're going to do it on March 1st, Saturday, March 1st. It is also going to be Pucks and Paws night, which is another one of our theme nights. It's a night where you can bring your dog for an extra $5 for a ticket. So again, one of our many amazing theme nights that will now include the Rotary clubs with us. So it will be a really special night that night as well. And here's my information. I just figured I'd put this on here just so everybody can have it. If you ever need anything Barracuda, or if you just want to talk more about how we can work together in the community, I know most of you guys aren't really local, but if you know anybody that's local that would like to, work with us in some facet, I would love to help. My LinkedIn's there on the left if anybody would like to, connect with me. And then we have the Barracuda website as well. So if you have any kind of questions or just want to look over our stuff, we have all that there. And that's all I really have. I'll obviously leave it open up for questions. But again, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate everything.
Perfect, Zach. Thank you very much.
Of
What I'd
course.
like to do is to introduce our group, so I'll have you stop sharing for a minute, and everybody, if you'd have your cameras on and to wave if you like. You don't have to, of course, but there you go. So let me introduce real quick. From our members, we have in Houston Roy Olson, in Vancouver. We've got Nick Lagarde in Southern California on Catalina Island. We've got Ernie Rodriguez. We've got a charter member of our club now with the District 7040 Rotary Passport Club, Chris Cochran, and friend of the club, Victoria Grishmoller in Hungary. So very cool, Victoria, to see you as well. I'll jump in, and my name is Rushton. I'm in San Jose. Ding. Right, and I'll start the questions with one that came in from Victoria. When you think about the challenges that a smaller sports organization faces in establishing itself in the community, trying to really connect with the community, what are the biggest challenges you face?
The biggest challenge is them even knowing who we are.
Mm.
If I'm going to be real with you, there's so many times we have walked up and we're like, "Hey, we're the San Jose Barracuda," and they're like, "Who?" So we have to go through the whole, well, we're the AHL affiliate of the San Jose Sharks. And they're like, oh, Sharks. Yeah, yeah, you guys are like, no, we're the Barracuda. We're separate. So I think it's more of just the brand recognition aspect, if you ask me. Our poor Frenzy, our mascot, he goes out too, and they're always like, hey, it's Sharky. And it's like, no, that's not Sharky, that's Frenzy. So that's definitely a big challenge is just getting our brand out there and brand recognition. I think we've gotten better over the last couple years. There's less Sharkies and more Frenzies, or at least they're saying, oh, Barracuda. They don't know necessarily Frenzy's name, but at least they're not saying, oh, Sharks. So that one. And then, you know, I think it's about just getting out there. I think that's the one thing. During the season, it's tough for us to get out there as much. So we really take a time during the off season to really prioritize going to these events, going out and meeting people, going, to the park and just all these different areas to just interact with people because time is tough, especially during the season for any sports team, especially us.
Well, as a fan of minor league sports, I mean, you're right there next to the San Jose Giants baseball team, a great and storied minor league team. There also are advantages in terms of being smaller and more focused, and that difference between approaching the work in a minor league setting and a major league setting. What are some of the advantages for you as you think about how to connect with the community?
Absolutely. No. I think one of our biggest, you know, one of the things that that helps us a lot is that we are a smaller league. We don't have like the NHL breathing down our neck over every little thing. I think the Sharks struggle with that because a lot of the stuff they try to do or they try to do during the game, they get vetoed all the time by the league. And, for example, there was one thing that happened a while ago where players weren't allowed to tape their hockey sticks with like the rainbow tape because the NHL just didn't want to offend other groups. Um, don't know what happened there, but we allow that no problem. We actually have our we actually wear specialty jerseys on occasion too. So that's something we can do that the NHL can't do. So in reference to that, I think we can get away with a lot more, meaning we can work with these groups and do things that the NHL can't do. Like we can, pretty much set up our own events as far as food drives, can drives, things of that nature. I have like a tabling event I do every year for a game. A lot of that stuff we can just do that we don't have to worry about the league breathing down our necks. So I think that's a huge advantage for us is that we can kind of get away with more and in turn have more fun. So I think that's what makes us kind of more fun than the Sharks is because we can get away with more.
All right. Well, now obviously in both major and minor leagues, right? That need to get the players thinking about what it means to work with the community. I'm sure it comes completely naturally for some, and others takes a little bit of training. How do you work with the team, the players themselves, to invite them or have them embrace kind of the opportunity to be ambassadors in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. There's some guys that are always down to do something, and there's some guys that are like, no, thank you. So it comes down to the individual first. Me personally, being in sports, I understand as an athlete that you have an image, you are a brand yourself, and we try to talk to the guys when they first come in, letting them know like, hey, look, yes, you're here to play. You're here to go score some goals and try to move up the league and everything like that. But teams also look for off the ice stuff. Like if you have a good connection to the community, if you are, working for some charitable organization, teams love that. Now, it's a combination, right? If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. But I think what splits hairs and what gets other players more recognition and possibly getting on a team is that other aspect to it, is the community. So what we try to do is we try to let them know from the get-go, and honestly we have a lot of help from our player personnel. Like they set the tone like, hey, you got to go to these events, you got to do it because it's important. So it helps to have player operations um, behind us on that, because if not, then the players wouldn't have to do it. So a lot of times they have to do it. We have to force them. But luckily, we had a good group of guys last year that were actually very into volunteering and went to a lot of our events. So we're kind of blessed in that aspect because sometimes we have some guys that do not want to do anything.
Part of it, how it works in any setting, for sure.
Correct.
Now, I would assume that for some of the players, the opportunity to work with specific organizations is a real draw, right? And Victoria actually asked in the chat about the criteria that you use to select organizations that you support in some fashion. Are there specific rules that set you up on how to think about that, or is that actually within the kind of flexibility you described as a difference between yourselves and an NHL franchise?
Yeah, that second part. We have the more flexibility to work with all these organizations. The only thing that holds us back in some sense is sponsorships. So, for example, Kaiser Permanente is a big sponsor of ours. So they're a hospital. They obviously work with different kinds of organizations on their own. Because of that, we can't necessarily put our name next to other hospitals, if that makes sense. So like Stanford, Stanford Hospital has their own, setup, and I wanted to work with them at a tabling event, but we kind of got vetoed on that just because we didn't want to upset Kaiser, because they are a big sponsor of ours. So I would say that's the only criteria, is that we don't upset who we're already working with. And generally, besides Kaiser, most of these organizations are super, super cool with us working with other people. It's just more of like brand and everything like that. So that's really, it's not even a huge wall. It's just more like, okay, we can't work with another hospital, but we can work with another organization that works with hospitals, or we can work with, you know what I mean? Like we have that, again, flexibility to be able to work with them. But a big criteria for me is just, being helpful to the community. I think organizations that are literally going out there and working with people. That's a big thing for me. That's why I work with Special Olympics. That's why I work with San Andreas Regional Center because they do disability awareness fairs all the time. So it's not a huge criteria, but we definitely, I would say go off vibes. We want to make sure that they are a good program. They have a good, mission statement, everything like that that also aligns with us.
Well, and kudos to organizations like Kaiser that jump in to actually support what's happening with the team, right? I mean, I can see
Right.
that being part of their mission to
Yeah,
support the community as well. So
absolutely.
good to see that there's this interesting dynamic and how the different organizations work together. Speaking of that, TechCU Arena, I went there for a tour when we were beginning to talk about these ideas related to our March 1st program with Niles Fremont Club and other Rotary clubs in our district. That's the goal. Let me add to that we're gonna make that a multiple sclerosis awareness event for those attending our group activities as well. So we're hoping to get more people kind of on board with what it means to understand and support those who are suffering from MS. But tell us more about Tech CU Arena. Like that's an amazing facility. Like that, I had imagined something very simple, and I kind of got there. I was like, oh wow. So having such an involved place to be, that's got to be great for the franchise.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love this arena. For people who haven't been here or don't know about it, it originally started as Sharks Ice, which was just two sheets of ice for people who, programs, organizations that wanted to come and use the ice, right? From there, it grew from two to four, and then from four to six with the addition of Tech CU Arena. So we have six total ice pieces of ice. We're actually the largest indoor ice skating rink in North America. So take that, Canada. Uh, but
Oh yeah.
it's just amazing because of all the different things that we can do along with our arena. Like I said, Sharks Ice is a whole different identity, but we work with them closely on bringing different kinds of events that also work with them. Like I had the resource fair that was at the arena, but it was in a section of the arena that not all arenas have. And other things like that. So it's just really cool to be able to do that and have the flexibility to do, like, for example, I can use our back parking lot for the car show. Like, I don't think a lot of arenas can do that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work out a cornhole tournament where we take over the whole concourse with cornhole tables and just go and have a tournament before the game. So like that's the stuff we just can't do anywhere else. But we have the facilities, we have the space, we have all the ice that we can do other programs on. So it's just really, really cool to have this arena. And it's new too. So it's still got that new arena smell, which I, love.
Well, definitely in on the cornhole tournament. So keep
Yeah.
us on the mailing list for that.
Yeah, I got you.
So speaking of North America, the southward move, the interest has like when I was a high schooler. I mean, the NHL had tons of teams up in Canada, and some number of teams, mostly in the Northeast of the United States. And over the past few decades, there have been more and more NHL franchises farther south.
Mhm.
There's an interest in hockey in places where it like never freezes. What is it about the sport that has produced such a development of the fan base over the past few decades?
I think you know, social media helps a lot, I think, for a lot of sports. For the longest time, I feel like the top sports have always been like football, basketball, baseball, but I think you're starting to see a lot of other sports getting some recognition. Like, field hockey is on the rise now. Lacrosse is on the rise. There's so many tournaments. I mean, you even look at something like pickleball. I mean, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America right now. Like, you wouldn't think it is, but they have literal leagues everywhere now. And so I think social media has really helped expand more on hockey because our marketing team especially does a really good job of pushing that kind of stuff out. Also, I think just facility availability. I think a lot of new facilities have been built, especially in the South, over the past couple decades. So, you know, you can't go play hockey in Florida if you don't have an ice to do it on. So I think the availability of the ice helps. And again, just more and more pushing out media and letting people know about the league. I think just more and more kids are opening up to more and more sports now. I mean, I feel like when I was growing up, it was like the top sports. You go basketball, football. Like for me, because I was a big guy, so it was like basketball or football. That's it. And it's like, what about these other sports? So I think that's really helping now with just the brand recognition, social media push outs, and just facility availability.
Well, very cool. We're kind of winding down our time frame. So what I'll do is kind of wrap things up and then hand it back to you for a final word. But for all of you who have taken your time to watch this program or any of our programs, listen to any of our podcasts, and been inspired by the stories you hear about the organizations working through their particular field to do things for others in the community, whether it's the innovative startups, the visionaries that we get a chance to talk with as a part of the Rotary E Club of Silicon Valley. We appreciate you taking your time to spend it with us. And we hope that you will share with others word about our podcast, including the very exciting launch of a new podcast series called Inspiring Women. And we are going to be celebrating trailblazers in a number of different ways. We hope you'll listen to that on your commute or while working out or whatever it may be. Uh, Leave us a message if you are on the SiliconValleyRotary.com page. There's a section at the bottom called Discuss. You can leave a comment there about any aspect of the meeting, including, of course, this program, and we welcome that chance to interact with you in that space. As we always like to do, we hand it back to our speaker for the final word. So, Zach, what is it you'd like people to have clearly in mind as they finish up this recording?
Well, I mean, I know personally with the Barracuda, especially, we are a professional team. We are a business in a sense, but I think what separates us from, the bigger teams is that we have that community aspect. I think that's our bread and butter. That's how I started, gaining any business here is working with these groups. So the one thing I would leave is just, community is super important, I think, for pretty much any business. But I think more importantly for sports, because if you don't have a community that supports the team, I don't think you're going to last.
True for business, true for service organizations as well. So, thank you so much, and everyone,
Thank
thank
you.
you. We will see you next week.